The Corvette is a car that requires no introduction. When the C1 Corvette came out in 1953, it represented America's response to the rising popularity of lightweight, nimble European two-seater sports cars that dominated post-war automotive enthusiasm. At the time, the United States was building large, comfortable cruisers, cars meant for straight highways and wide boulevards, not necessarily for the tight switchbacks of European mountain passes. But there was an undercurrent of desire among younger American drivers for something more spirited, something that could deliver the kind of precision handling and driver involvement the British and Italians had mastered. Chevrolet saw that desire, and out of that came the birth of an American icon, the Corvette. That first Corvette wasn't perfect. The 1953 model was more a statement of intent than a fully realized sports car. Its fiberglass body was radical for the era, chosen in part because of steel shortages but also as a deliberate weight-saving measure. The car's sleek, boat-like design captured the essence of 1950s optimism, with its rounded fenders, toothy grille, and jet-age curves. Yet beneath its skin lay a humble inline-six engine borrowed from Chevrolet's passenger car lineup. It made just 150 horsepower, respectable for the time but far from the fire-breathing performance enthusiasts wanted. Still, it was the foundation. It was America saying to the world, "We can build a sports car too." The turning point came in 1955, when Chevrolet made a decision that would define the Corvette for generations to come: the introduction of the small block V8. Suddenly, the Corvette wasn't just a pretty face, it was a performer. The compact, lightweight V8 gave it the muscle to back up its looks, and with it, Chevrolet found the formula that would carry the nameplate for the next 7 decades. Lightweight body, big power, rear-wheel drive, and a commitment to constant evolution. That combination made the Corvette a car capable of carving corners on a back road and outrunning just about anything in a straight line. It was the essence of American performance distilled into fiberglass and chrome. By 1958, the Corvette had evolved into something even more special, a machine that reflected the height of 1950s automotive style and engineering progress. America was in the midst of a chrome craze. Bigger fins, more lights, more shine. Every automaker was trying to outdo the others in a glittering display of excess. Chevrolet's designers decided the Corvette should follow suit, but without losing its sporting identity. The 1958 model year brought significant visual updates that gave the Corvette a more refined, upscale look, aligning it with the flamboyant automotive design trends of the time while retaining its athletic soul. The most noticeable change was the introduction of the 4-headlamp design, a feature that had become a symbol of modernity by the late 50s. Where earlier Corvettes had 2 round headlights, the new setup gave the car a wider, more confident stance. It looked faster, more sophisticated, and more in tune with the high-style era it was born into. The new front end also featured a revised grille, less teeth, more elegance. The addition of chrome accents along the body, especially the faux louvers on the hood and the decorative chrome spears on the trunk lid, made the 1958 Corvette instantly recognizable. Interestingly, these features were exclusive to that model year, making the 58 a one-year-only gem in Corvette history. Inside, Chevrolet didn't hold back either. The dashboard layout was updated with a new instrument cluster that placed the tachometer directly in front of the driver. A small but meaningful change that showed Chevrolet was serious about performance. The addition of factory-installed seatbelts was another step forward, showing the company's growing attention to safety, a topic that was just starting to gain traction in the automotive world. Everything about the 58 Corvette spoke to refinement and progress, a car that was coming into its own not just as an American sports car, but as the American sports car. The example we're looking at here captures that heritage perfectly. Its body, previously repainted in charcoal, gleams under the light in a way that makes you stop and stare. There's something about the way the color interacts with the Corvette's curves, how the light slides over the rounded fenders, how it highlights the creases of the hood, that evokes a sense of timelessness. This isn't a car trying to look new. It's a car proudly wearing its history, and yet it feels alive, ready to roar. Complementing that charcoal finish are both a body-colored hardtop and a black convertible soft top, giving the owner the flexibility to match the car's personality to the mood or the weather. With the top down, the Corvette becomes a pure open-air experience, the wind rushing past, the exhaust note echoing off buildings or canyon walls depending on where you drive it. With the top up, it transforms into a tight, almost formal sports coupe, sleek and serious. Adding a touch of modern flair are the 5-spoke chrome Foose wheels and red brake calipers, a subtle nod to modern performance culture that somehow blends seamlessly with the car's vintage lines. Often, aftermarket wheels or steering wheels can feel out of place on classic cars, breaking the period-correct illusion, but here everything works in harmony. The 3-spoke aftermarket steering wheel, in particular, looks like it was born for the car. It manages to bring a contemporary edge without feeling disrespectful to the original design. Step inside, and you're greeted by a cabin bathed in blue, a tone that manages to be both vibrant and classy. The leather bucket seats, paired with matching seat belts, immediately remind you of how cars from this era balanced comfort with style. They weren't just places to sit, they were thrones for adventure. Even the 8-ball gear shifter knob adds a bit of cheeky personality, the kind of small touch that makes you smile every time your hand reaches for the lever. Despite the few modifications, the interior remains largely faithful to the original spirit. It's not a restomod trying to erase its past. It's a car celebrating its origins while acknowledging that time moves on. But if the exterior and interior are exercises in tasteful restraint, the engine bay is a declaration of pure performance ambition. Pop open the forward hinged hood and you're greeted by a sight that any gearhead would appreciate. A gleaming chrome 350 cubic inch GM crate engine that looks as though it could power a drag racer. It's spotless, meticulously detailed, and clearly built with love and precision. The engine isn't just there to be admired. It's built to be driven, to be heard, to be felt. This engine setup includes MSD electronic ignition and an aftermarket alternator, both of which enhance reliability and performance. Fuel delivery comes courtesy of a 600 CFM Holley carburetor with an electric choke, an old-school setup that strikes the perfect balance between tradition and tunability. Every component seems to have been chosen with care, not for show but for the sake of mechanical excellence. Even small touches, like the oil filler cap adorned with the iconic Corvette flags, show the builder's attention to authenticity. Backing this power plant is a 4-speed manual transmission, the only proper choice for a car like this. The linkage feels solid and mechanical, reminding the driver of an era when shifting gears was part of the thrill, not just a necessity. Together, the engine and transmission deliver the kind of visceral connection that modern paddle-shift cars often lack. Every rev, every clutch engagement, every downshift becomes part of a conversation between man and machine. A conversation filled with noise, vibration, and pure joy. Of course, when you give a car more power, you need to give it the ability to stop as well. That's why this Corvette has been upgraded with Willwood 4-wheel disc brakes, ensuring it can rein in all that horsepower with confidence. The pedal feel is firm, precise, and far superior to the drum setups these cars originally came with. This isn't just a showpiece. It's a machine built to be driven hard and enjoyed safely. There's a special kind of magic to driving a 1958 Corvette. It's not just about the speed, although it has plenty of that. It's about the sensation of being part of something that represents both history and freedom. You sit low in the car, the long hood stretching out before you, the touch needle dancing with every blip of the throttle. The exhaust note is a deep, throaty rumble that resonates in your chest more than your ears. Every gear change feels deliberate, mechanical, satisfying. You're reminded that this was built in an age when cars had souls, when engineers and designers were driven as much by passion as by practicality. Onlookers can't help but react. Park this car anywhere and it draws a crowd. Kids point, adults smile. People who know cars will come closer, wanting to ask questions. Is it a real 58? Is that the original color? While those who don't will just stand and stare, drawn by something they can't quite define. That's the effect of a true classic. It's not about rarity or value, though the 58 Corvette has both. It's about presence. It's about a car that commands respect simply by existing. The 1958 Corvette also represents a turning point in how America saw itself. Post-war confidence was at an all-time high. The space race was just beginning. Jet engines, rockets, and futuristic design were the new obsessions. The Corvette, with its sculpted lines and fighter plane-inspired dashboard, fit perfectly into that cultural moment. It wasn't just transportation, it was aspiration on four wheels. To own a Corvette was to declare that you were living the American dream, that you valued style, performance, and the thrill of the open road. Even today, more than 6 decades later, the 1958 Corvette holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and enthusiasts alike. Its one-year-only design cues make it instantly recognizable and highly sought after. But beyond that, it's a car that encapsulates everything that made mid-century America such an exciting time. It's a time capsule of optimism, performance, and artistry. A reminder that even in an age of mass production, cars could still be beautiful, emotional, and deeply personal. The modern touches on this particular example, its Foose wheels, MSD ignition, Holley carb, and Wilwood brakes, don't detract from its heritage. Instead, they enhance it. They make it usable, reliable, and ready for the kind of spirited driving it was always meant for. You could take this Corvette on a Sunday morning cruise, or you could take it to a local car meet, and it would feel equally at home in either setting. It's that rare kind of classic that bridges the gap between eras, combining the soul of the past with the capability of the present. Driving it is an experience that transcends numbers and specs. Sure, you can talk about horsepower, torque, or 0 to 60 times, but those don't capture what it feels like when you roll onto the throttle and feel that V8 come alive. The nose lifts ever so slightly, the exhaust bellows, and suddenly the years melt away. You're not just driving a car, you're participating in history. The road ahead becomes your stage, the horizon your destination, and the sound of that small block becomes your soundtrack. For collectors, this car represents more than just an investment. It represents a connection to the past, to American ingenuity, to the golden age of design. Every curve, every bolt, every sound is a story waiting to be told. It's a reminder that before computers and wind tunnels, there were people sketching cars by hand, shaping them with passion and pride. In an age when cars are becoming increasingly digital, autonomous, and disconnected, the 1958 Corvette stands as a testament to the analog era, a symbol of mechanical purity. It's proof that emotion and craftsmanship can coexist with performance. When you grip that steering wheel, when you feel the rumble through the floor, when you catch your reflection in the chrome bumper, you understand why the Corvette became more than just a car. It became a legend. And as the decades roll on, its legacy continues to grow. Each generation of Corvette owes something to that first one, to that brave fiberglass experiment in 1953 that dared to dream differently. The 1958 model, with its combination of beauty, performance, and exclusivity, sits at the heart of that lineage. It's not just a car that helped shape American sports car culture, it is American sports car culture. This particular example, with its careful blend of originality and tasteful modernization, captures everything that makes the Corvette so enduring. It's a rolling reminder of where we've been and how far we've come. And for those lucky enough to see it, hear it, or drive it, it's more than metal and chrome. It's emotion, artistry, and freedom on four wheels. Because in the end, the Corvette has always been about more than just going fast. It's about a feeling of power, pride, and possibility. The 1958 Corvette embodies that feeling perfectly. And whether you find it parked at a car show gleaming under the sun or roaring down a quiet highway at dusk, one thing remains true. It's not just a piece of automotive history. It's the heartbeat of American performance.